names, and definitely not get convinced by corporate propaganda. There are ways in which the same message can be the reason for brainwashing you, but the same message, if your mind is trained right, can be the place from where you lift falsehoods and pick new strategies of defending the truth and defending people and their rights. You can talk to them, but that talking counts for nothing. The real place which counts is how we change the structures of accountability and governance and the powers and rights of people.
A comfortable existence, a career, all the promises of material well-being are rather empty. And I think for quite a few people, they certainly understand that emptiness and the severe limits on fulfillment and freedom. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. Otherwise, people would, well, I'm just going to get a good job. I'll be happy. Well, who's happy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Ballmer! Come on! Get up! Get up! Come on! Come on! Give it up for me! Yeah! Come on! I have 4 words for you.
Love.
This company. Yeah!
Let's take it one more time.
I
Love.
this company. Yes! I love this company. Yes! I love this company. Yes!
I'm calling for a new ethic. Developed nations have a duty not only to share our wealth, but also to encourage sources that produce wealth.
Why do people go out there and try to protest or try to, do something? That isn't mindless violence. The mindlessness is sitting there doing dope, watching MTV, and then you go and get a job and you just schlep along. And to me, that's violent. Targeted property damage or property destruction is necessary. It does break out of the confines of the politics as usual. What do you achieve by holding a sign, doing the protest as usual stuff? I've seen decades of it. It doesn't do anything. People pay no attention. Why should they pay any attention? It's not worthy of attention. But when people fight, that is something. It does grab the attention, and it should, because it's real stuff. It isn't just this symbolic game of, oh, it makes me feel good, I have my sign and stuff. Well, I don't care about that. If it was valid, if it was not ineffective, much better. I would much rather have a nice, polite, peaceful, nobody is put in danger, nobody gets hurt, no one gets arrested, nobody gets hit on the head by a cop, and not even a window is broken. Ideal. Except it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Property damage, property damage, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction, 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 destruction.
I'm calling for a new ethic.
Corporate property is the most obvious legitimate target in my view. Banks, expensive stores, chains like Starbucks and so forth. People understand that as part of the global system, part of this encroaching, standardized, destructive form that is wiping out all differences, all freedom. Property damage, property damage, property destruction, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction, property destruction, property damage, property damage, property destruction.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. I realized that you're not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area. There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus. Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague.
We've seen a huge spike up in the oil price. You're talking about a year high now being broken on Brent crude, which is a very significant figure, you have to say, and it really plays a big impact on the stock market. You have to say $10 on a barrel of oil wipes off 1% of global GDP impact on the stock market. You have to say $10 on a barrel of oil wipes off 1%.
People are told that the modern technological future is empowering people, is bringing people closer together, is giving them a great access to variety. I remember as a child, we were told technology would free people and they wouldn't have to be working so much. Well, I travel around and I overhear conversations all the time from people saying, I've got my beeper, I've got my cell phone, I've got my beeper, I've got my cell phone, I can't get away from work at all. Even commuting or at home, people are on this kind of electronic leash with all of these new devices. They're less and less separate from work and technology.
1%.
How we support Bluetooth, how we support 3G.
1%.
How we support Bluetooth, how we support 3G.
1%.
It will be possible to stay at home and do your job and just video conference with your fellow workers.
1%.
The computer, I think, is going to be the very best tool for letting people socialize with each other.
1%.
This is certainly a tool that can bring people together
1%.
more than
1%.
than isolate them.
I think modern technology favors distancing over closeness, efficiency over playfulness, distancing over closeness, efficiency over playfulness.
Very significant figure, and it really plays a big impact on the stock market. Say $10 on a barrel of oil, well, it's off 1% of global GDP, it's off 1% of global GDP, it's off 1% of global GDP.
Distancing over closeness, efficiency over playfulness, distancing over closeness, efficiency over playfulness, variety, 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 variety.
Grow more pot. If we're serious about saving the earth, saving the ozone, and our freedom to go about saving the earth and the ozone, we should start by paying all those dirt-poor coca farmers in South America and out-of-work loggers in Fortuna and Eureka and Midwest family farmers and Rust Belt families too, to all get together and grow more pot. Why? Get ready for this. There's a book out. It's called The Emperor Wears No Clothes. The author's name is Jack Harrar. It's published by Queen of Clubs. I think there's ads for it in High Times or Normal, National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws. They could direct you to one, I'm sure. And in this book, among other places, it is written, before the 20th century, the marijuana plant provided almost all the world's paper, all the world's clothing and textiles, and almost all the world's rope. According to none other than the U.S. Department of Agriculture, you can make 4 times as much paper from an acre of marijuana hemp plants as you can from an acre of trees. And instead of chopping down all the redwoods in Humboldt County and turning Northern California and Oregon and Washington into Appalachia or the Sahara Desert, if you do it with hemp plants, you can just grow another crop a few months later and make more paper. At 1/4 the cost of making paper from wood pulp and only 1/5 the pollution. The ancient Romans knew this and grew it. Henry VIII made each farmer in Old England grow their share because they knew if you want the strongest natural fiber there is, you all got to do your part for the king and grow more pot. And we did too. Guess what Levi jeans were originally made out of? And guess what American flags used to be made out of?